show where I destroy their lives.
Save
Fuck you, I'm doing that
us!
every day.
Save us!
I destroy your lives better than you do.
Would help if I had this screen on Roll20 instead of Ravelry.
Well, Ravelry getting a little bit of an introduction.
Eh, I can't help it. I am a yarn wizard. I need my Ravelry. For those of you who don't know, Ravelry is a website for people who knit and crochet.
If they watch the VOD, they're gonna know now.
Yes, they will. Okay,
It's
I'm
a
gonna
busy day.
right, I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna do the link bomb, and then we can do
Get the
introductions
link,
and stuff.
yes, get the link bomb out of the way, and then we introduce, and then we go on with our lives
Yee.
like semi-competent adults.
You think I'm competent?
Sometimes you can be.
Few and far between, my friend.
And what, you think I'm competent?
Almost never.
You managed to visit friends out of country. You're very competent.
I'm not sure if that's a measure of competency there.
Are you dead? Did you visit the friends? It's competent enough.
Eh,
I need to start learning game genres better.
Is that
Because I'm seeing more and more games going back to really old styles of games that they just become their own genres, like the old tile-based dungeon crawlers.
those are pretty fun.
I've barely ever played them, but I've noticed that a lot of new games have gone back to that really old style where it's like you take one step forward and walk around meadows in a hex-based, square-based grid.
I mean, they might be devolving back into that simply because there's been an overflow of other styles and genres of games. So some other developers might be trying to market by, yeah.
It just seems really odd to go back that way when, like, the game we're looking at is beautiful in 3D. That they could have just left you on the field to walk around normally, and it wouldn't change anything, except now you're just restricted by a hex grid.
Alright. Link bomb has been done.
Yay.
Alright, then.
Let's do this.
Okay, so we're back
Oh.
to the.
Crap, I need to do the.
Introduce yourselves, you fools!
And
No.
Andy, hello.
I'm a Redunter with
I am Zidani Boop. I am the streamer.
She's the streamer. She is the one who streams.
Yee.
I am Fail Trolls. I am not tired at all because it's morning here.
Excuse me, I'm a sleepy boy.
yeah.
I'm at least 10 hours in the future, and that is gone.
Yes.
He needs no introductions.
Yes.
Oh, darkness, I am the old friend. Yeah, I don't know if you ever introduced yourself.
Yeah, I said hello.
Yeah, she
I
did.
said Danny.
I did.
You did.
Okay.
Is that a whole conversation where you said that she was the streamer?
Yeah, she is the one who streams.
Yes, she is the streamer. She is the one who streams. Guys, understand for a second. I'm still kind of waking up. I'll get into the mood of everything as we go. Sorry for everyone watching the stream and thus the VOD in exchange. I'm a tired boy. Sleeps.
Somebody getting some coffee.
It's okay. We still love you.
I'm also a boy who is currently incapable of sleeping properly because I have a terrible sleeping habit.
And work a retail job. That sure don't help things.
It certainly does not. Trust me, it does not.
Nope.
Alrighty then. Let me get the episode breakdown pulled up.
I need to get my character sheet.
Tell me when you've got that ready so I can go ahead and start reading the breakdown.
I've got it. You can go ahead.
Alright, time to turn on the DM mode. Last time on The Scattered Realms, Session 10. Our band of intrepid adventurers, the two non-tieflings, Ketus the Sublucidus Bard, and Javinche the Human Dancer, then followed by our favorite tieflings to round out this rather hellish party, Morrigan the Hexblade Warlock, Felsi the Sorcerer, and Brimstone, the man who sprays and prays, find themselves locked into a mysterious and dark visions foretelling the potential changes lying around ahead of them. Strange things and many worrying things, and now they meet up with the one who has granted them these visions. And now they may piece together what they have seen under this strange woman's guidance. Relatively simple introduction, as a very time-consuming process to explain all of what you all saw last time. I'll start us off by saying you are all now finding yourselves waking up from your various sleeping positions. Sort of temple that you found yourselves in at the end of last session. There seems to be a mess section laid out for you. Food laid out, but Lee's good at being able to take care of such things. I vigorously struggle to make something fit on a grid. Close enough.
Is there a doorway to get out?
You guys are actually basically in an open air section right now as I move you to the map.
Oh, we've got an actual map. I'm guessing
So I
it's not
realized
around.
the polygonal hidden areas is not hidden properly.
I did not mean to ping. I was trying to scroll.
Everything is darkness.
Ah,
Naughty,
there we go.
naughty children lose their eye privileges.
Yay!
So place your guys' tokens about in that sort of ruined room right there.
In what ruined room?
One you can
At the
see at the
bottom.
bottom of the map.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's an actual ruined?
Yeah, it's like a ruined temple you're in right now. By the way, for anyone interested in these maps, this is the map pack released by Neutral Party as free-to-use maps. They're very nice.
Okay.
Away from the party.
I believe
Yeah,
firmly
away
in
from them.
crediting artists that allow you to use their work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, while everyone's waking up, Keta's just gonna kind of step away from the party for a little bit and think.
You put Lee on the field.
Felsy's tinkering with the little pendant that she's found
So-
from someone.
So yes, in order to go over a bit of what happened last session, you all had strange visions. Some of you found that your visions might have been a little bit more real than you had first thought, as items you had picked up with you. I believe only Failsy and Motogon picked anything up.
Yeah.
Yes. Have this crystalline pendant with a almost black insignia of a compass rose embedded into the crystal seamlessly. A dull pulse of of some sort of strange magical sense. You're not really sure what it is just by looking at it. And Motogon, you have that bright red apple you found.
Yep.
There is also a sort of strange air of magic about it.
Oh, so it's more than just shiny and really red. Gotcha.
I'm gonna pray to bring them. Hey.
Not typically how one prays, but alright. Alright, so you give Grainham the hand on the shoulder and the hay. What else do you say, Andy? Andy die.
Hello?
Here you are.
I put my hand down on my laptop to go click something, and then microphone stopped working.
I know that feeling.
Like, Granddad? I don't know if you want me to call you that. Drain them, I guess. How exactly important is this thing of yours, and would you like maybe kill me if I found it and kept it away from you?
Um. Check.
Can't tell with that strong ass wisdom. Hang on 1 second, scroll down.
Doesn't seem that your prayer reaches him since you get no response. You're not sure if he heard you or not.
Lay face down in the dirt.
Hey, why are you still in a net? Hey, where'd you get that net? Take it off yourself, boy.
He was just still wearing some of the webbing.
I'm
Not
just
important.
picturing the webbing made almost like a bridal ground veil around his head.
Really see anything. Can't really see anything. Alright. So what are the rest of you doing in this moment?
Da Vinci is actually going to try to kind of slip away from the group. Just kind of
Alright.
think alone.
Slip away, standing right next to the passageway that leads further into this building.
Like he's trying to get out of sight. If there's a way out this way where it's like, okay, can slip around a corner. Sure.
I mean, this is an open. It's the thing that needs to be clarified. This area your guys in right now is actually a ruined building that has its top missing outside the building. Technically, it would take you off the map, but
Yeah, so Da Vinci would go into the building.
all right. You were always in the building, by the way. You want to go in the building? I will allow you to go in the building. I believe I have revealed the inside corridor of the building.
Yes.
Yes.
Immediately duck around and go into a corner.
Yeah.
Alright.
Sure, their work.
Well, those are both locked rooms.
This?
That's a crumbled wall.
Yeah,
That's a
these are
locked
the
room.
locked.
Yeah. So
These
go.
are actually doors.
Just kind of more slip over. Slip over here and then sit down.
So you find that the moment you enter this building, there is actually a bird that's watching you.
Mm.
It's basically just sitting on this partially crumpled pillar, just staring at you.
Hmm.
Okay.
He's going to just kind of glare at the bird. And then just trying to get his bearings on what he saw in the vision, just kind of sit down and think about it. His hands shifting into different gestures. But nothing's per se being summoned up or anything.
Alright. Is there anything in particular you're trying to glean from this, or just doing it?
Just more kind of how he's trying to cope with the situation and trying to deem how the feeling was different where he was in the vision when casting magic.
Back on it, there was certainly something there that felt very different. You've never been able to command that level of magic before. Honestly, you still feel a sort of weird tingle on your skin from the experience.
Yeah, so the gestures he's doing are kind of like trying to draw magic, but without actually casting it.
Okay.
Just to continue getting a sense of how different it felt.
All right. Give me your relevant spellcasting is charisma, right?
Correct.
Give me a charisma check.
Did that roll?
Has not gone through yet, at least.
Here it is.
No.
Or making
Tom.
the
Sorry.
you're making the gestures and thinking about the experience, and just it was so alien to you, you're not really sure what to make of it. It's different, but you're not really sure if that's different in a way that you can learn from, or just so different that it's your understanding of how your magic works. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Time for all the low rolls of the night, folks.
Get them out of the way now, and you might not have to deal with them later.
Who say I just don't deal with them all the time?
As wind in the background.
Andy.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm in an attic. I can't help it.
Can I make like an investigation or an arcana check on this little pendant that came out of nowhere for her?
Sure, you can. Either one, depending on what you roll, will change what you learn.
11.
What was it, though?
Arcana.
Right.
So,
An 11 Arcana. There is definitely a sense of magic about this item. Much like the experience from which you acquired it, it's foreign to you. Understand its nature. You definitely know that it is magic, but you're not really sure what to make of its magical essence.
so best guess it's something about nautical, something about the sea, and it has something to do with leviathans, maybe.
Yep.
First, gonna put it on. Like, is it on a chain, or is it just like a little bauble?
Yeah, it's just on a chain.
First, is just gonna wear it then.
This is an item that could be attuned to.
Okay. I'll mark that down on my list of attunement items then.
Not attuned to it yet, but you could attune to it.
Yeah. Don't you attune to
That you
things if
would
you
have
hold it
attuned.
for like a few hours?
I was getting ready to go to that.
Yeah.
You would have attuned to it, keeping it on your person all night, but you did not attune to it, oddly enough. You're thinking it might have a different condition for which it activates.
Well, she'll remember to investigate this later. I'm guessing I can't just spam investigation rolls at it.
It's the type of thing that you'd need more than just an investigation roll to figure out.
Yeah.
Could it be potentially identified over a long rest?
It's not really an item any of you would have enough knowledge about to identify without proper magical identification.
Something Felsi doesn't have. yet.
Oh, I have an orc. No, cat just laying face down in the dirt.
He just pats your back.
For the first time, with like first time she actually recoils when he touches her because she's not expecting to be touched.
I mean, she literally ran away from him before.
She's also not
So-
expecting to be touched when she's in her own thoughts.
Fair enough. Just... Hey,
Oh, no, no, no. It's not. It's not. Oh, no, it's. Why me? Why now? Why me? Fucking hell. Alright. Wasn't there.
get
Popped herself back up on her butt.
I don't know what you saw, but the workout.
I have high doubts on that. I'm supposed to find you. Oh, God.
What's so bad about what they want you to find?
I heard of something called the Grail. The Grail of Grainham.
That's not what the item is actually called. If you're gotta make an intelligence check for Lee. The boy is not good at those. Why are you not set up properly? I need you to be a 2-me roll. There we go. He just seems confused. He doesn't know what that item is.
Dove Grainham is a very said to even bring dust back to life.
It sounds important.
Also, there's the living fact that Grainham is my grandfather, and I really don't feel like trying to fucking find that thing, bringing the whole entire church after me.
Even if you find it, couldn't you just give someone else to hand them off?
I need to take it to the Kingdom of Blossoms to give to an archfey who's suffering. Good. For long. It has itself impaled in iron.
Hmm.
I can't do it. I can't risk them finding me.
I mean, if they haven't found the cup already, and you use it, they're probably not gonna find you. Back when you're done.
I don't want to have any dealings within this. I want to keep myself far away from this as possible. My life, that's not who I am.
Hmm. Well, I don't think I'm smart enough to give advice on that. I'll stick with you, though.
Again.
He sort of wraps a single arm around you because he doesn't want to crush you. So also his other arm has a large walk tied to it, so that would be awkward.
Take that thing off of your arm. Yep. I don't think we're gonna get attacked.
It's either keep it on my arm or wear it on my back. Yeah.
I'm gonna go steal
Think
my
you'll be-
stuff.
What's everyone else doing at this point? Brimstone and Morrigan, are you doing anything in particular?
She's just sitting and thinking.
Alright. Are you attempting to channel divine forces to learn more, or are you just thinking?
Just thinking.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Is there anything in particular you want to try to reflect back on?
She's just thinking back over the vision she had and just hoping that she did the right thing while in it.
Make an insight check.
Insight?
Yep.
Okay. 10.
There's a feeling of uncertainty in you because, of course, you probably could have tried to handle that a different way.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about the fact that that guard and sent him away from that girl you with like a little sense of I did the right thing. Don't know if you did it. You don't know if you did it the best way you could have, but you're pretty sure you did the right thing.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Brimstone, you are now wedged between two women. Promiscuous One and Keta.
Who's wiping her face? Did you see?
Well, apparently there's something that'll help me get back my old man.
Go for it.
Whoever it was that I saw called himself Judge. Said that if I could beat the thing guarding, I could beat my old man. So there ain't no way in hell we're going there for a bit. As it stands now, I don't think it, even with our combined forces, I think my old man would just 6 seconds maybe. That's all we'd need.
Is he?
What was that you cut out?
How dangerous is he? If a thing at the end as powerful as him, then how dangerous is he?
Dangerous enough that I haven't tried to kill him yet.
Yep. You realize, Brimstone, you actually really have no concept for how strong your father actually is.
Yeah, just dangerous
For
enough that I
fact, yeah.
haven't tried yet. That's the only context I have.
I've always had
Probably-
the context of he's too dangerous to even attempt to deny.
What is
I don't think Fails actually knows your father at all. So she's just listening to you having daddy issues.
I don't know what the fuck he is. He ain't human.
Is he like the thing we fought before we got on the ship?
I don't think he's. Well, kinda. Not really. I guess to put it in context, he probably eats those.
It's not disturbing at all.
Huh. So if your dad's so great, why are you so small?
Ooh.
It's the easy to digest version.
Oh, the DM disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He's back now.
There he is.
Powerful than mom. Probably more powerful.
Brimstone, make an insight check with disadvantage.
I'm not good at that. Yeah, no.
Oh no.
Yeah, like Brimstone said.
Your concept for this is just, my dad's strong. I've never gauged his strength. I know how strong that woman is. Maybe I'm terrified of that fight happening.
Just.
Don't want to think about it.
So,
I have no idea.
so say it had a hoof. It was in a cave that I couldn't get into. And it had a bunch of spears in it. It asked me to get the font of Graydon.
Blood.
It's something important to the church that it's said to even bring even dust back to life. Very powerful. And it's very not known where it is. Find it, then guess what that does to me. Big target right here. And she kind of points right to her head. And then if they find out who my mom is, then they're definitely going to drag me kicking and screaming into the church so they can prove who I am. I don't to find it. I don't want that power for being out and about and that crazy. But at the same time, creature is hurt. It said that its grove is in the kingdom of blossoms. I want to help. I don't want to use that way out. Am I making sense?
Well, ordinarily I'd say that's a fantastic dream.
I have a very twisted sense of what's fantastic and what's not.
At least your dream was on dry land.
Or is yours?
It was very wet.
Uh-huh.
Like in the ocean wet?
In the very, very deep ocean.
Wait, what?
Was in the dankest of places.
It was either in a big, deep cave underwater, or it was at the bottom of the ocean.
Was it the dankest dungeon?
Deepest, darkest, dankest corners of the abyss.
Enough.
One could describe it as moist.
Oh God! Why? Why?
This is what I do.
Oh, you're saying that was a very moist place.
Not you two! Don't do this.
I'm getting some starburst.
But no, I didn't get any quests or hints of places to go. I did get a nice little charm that I don't know where this came from. She says, dangling the pendant around her neck.
It's very.
Yeah, it's just a nice, simple pendant on a simple silver chain. At least the chain looks like it's silver.
Does the compass rose look like the same kind of that Keta has on her boots?
Actually, it does. It does look like that holy symbol of Venti.
Oh. And Keta will take off a boot and kind of show Failsy the symbol on the kind of upper top area. Obviously, like where Keta would grab it and like put it on her boot, on her foot. The symbol pressed into the leather.
Yeah. So you would see, Filzy, that they're not quite the same symbol, but they're very similar.
Would that be because they sort of are lifted from the same design, being a compass flower type thing? Or just... Or could it be just like an alteration of a holy symbol?
You have training in religion, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so you'd be able to say this for certainty. The compass rose in this world is a symbol that is directly derived from the holy symbol of Venti. As Venti is the goddess of travel, she is often directions are often devoted to her in terms of her worship. But so yeah, so you're looking at this and it's definitely inspiration from that holy symbol. You're not sure if it is if it's a direct version of the holy symbol or if it just draws inspiration, but it certainly looks very similar.
Could have connection to a god. I have no idea how old this little bauble is. Could be brand new since I pulled it out of a dream. But it was also at the bottom of the ocean for God knows how long, sitting on the person who gave it to me.
Let me get out of here. Beach. I'd rather test my luck with a crab.
Felzy is on purposely obfuscating the thing that she spoke to a Leviathan.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you guys are having that conversation. Javinche,
Yes.
as you were sort of sitting and contemplating what you saw in your vision, you hear footsteps ring out inside this building as woman walks from a side corridor and just looks down at you.
Well, when he starts hearing the footsteps, he would stand up and then kind of shuffle himself to the side so he's looking straight at her.
I mean,
hello.
even if... How tall is Javinche?
He's like 5'8".
So even while standing, she's still looking down at you. She's a rather tall woman.
Yeah,
She's very tall and very slender.
but she's not looking like straight down at him on the floor.
That's fair.
Hello.
Hello.
Hmm.
So did you
So
rest
not-
well?
Night went rather fine once we laid down.
To hear. An evening among the stars is always a good way to rest.
I don't know, it normally it does.
I'm assuming the vision I have given you has caused you troubles.
Just some things to think about. Whether anything will come up of it or not, I don't know.
Well, if any of you so desire, I'm willing to tell you about the cards I drew for you.
What card did you draw for me?
She makes a gesture with her hands. Very long, billowing sleeves. You see a card sort of just materialize and slide into her palm. I find your card. Actually, I'm going to upload this to the server. Give me just a second. Come on, computer, load. She turns her hand slowly around, and you see a depiction of a strange woman in many multicolored lights, wearing upon her head a crown of flowers and thorns. Holds two items in both hands, though exactly what these items are, you are not certain. While many strange, almost magical beings crowd around her.
Hmm.
This is the card of the fairy godmother.
Then what's that supposed to mean?
She who commands magic, she who watches. Future steeped in chaos and interest. It's a very interesting card to have drawn for one such as yourself.
What makes you say that?
Such as yourself who claims to have no magical prowess. There's a look in her eyes that almost... It gives you the sense that she's looking...
Sorry, you cut out there as she gives
Gives
me
you-
a sense of what?
It gives you the sense that she's looking right through you.
Me, magic? I'm just an entertainer.
Of course, of course. But many of this world's great entertainers have always known how to touch magic. And then she flicks her fingers and a second card folds out of the back of the first card. As I'm just gonna go ahead and send this one as well. Should be the right card. There we go. Yes, as she reveals to you this card that simply appears to be strange interlacing lights. Singer of Intuition. A card that reveals what once hidden. Something not seen by the light of day. Now what you know. I can assume it was rather interesting.
Sorry, could you repeat that again? You cut out again.
Now what you have seen I do not know, but I can assume it was rather interesting.
Well, doesn't seem harm in saying what I saw. At least not to you.
Of course.
I guess you could say I saw the fairy godmother. Or what's left of her. Shattered far beyond. She spoke. Fragmented. But full of curiosity.
That was the wrong button. Oops.
It's rather interesting. She starts walking towards you.
I guess. I will say I did keep my smooth tongue with talking with her.
Perhaps that's why you were allowed to live. Who knows?
Possibly. I know that this tongue has gotten me out of a number of situations.
As I'm sure it's gotten you into a number of many as well.
The only thing I have to say to that is I'm still here, so it hasn't gotten me too deep.
Any who have gone too deep are still here. There's a second where she's almost directly in your face before she just turns around. The place you walk through. Tell your friends to come join me. To hear what their cards mean.
Fine.
She walks through this set of double doors.
What is going on in her head?
A lot.
just glares daggers at that bird.
Oh, God damn it.
Everyone.
He'd be coming out at about the time when you guys stopped your conversation about what you were talking to about with Brimstone, Keta.
The lady who brought us here like to have a chat with all of us.
Sounds fantastic.
Talking about the cards she drew.
What?
Explaining, maybe?
I don't know. But she wants us to talk.
Alright, fucking.
Let's go.
She went this way.
As they walk,
Lee,
Keta's gonna ask
Morgan.
Lee if she can hold his hand.
Yeah, he'll let her.
How are you going?
I'm coming.
Alright, and those double doors are now open. Reveal the area within. You see, this almost looks like an altar for meditation, which she currently is sitting upon. She sort of slowly turns her eyes as each of you enter the room, scanning over you. You all get that same sort of strange sensation of someone looking right through your person into your soul. As you all walk past, this bird just goes, "Good luck!"
So just to be clear, the all the rubble and that around here, and that this is actually what we see.
Yeah, this is a rather destroyed ruin. There are obviously points where that rubble has been cleared off, and it's almost already like stacked into neat piles, but just due to the fact that this place does not have a complete roof, and recently it has been raining, there are pools inside this building. You will occasionally, as you are walking past, see another bird splishing around in. I don't have a token for him, unfortunately, but you do actually see... What'd you call him? Charles? Charlie? Something like that?
Charles.
The white familiar.
White Raven. You actually see him just sort of splishing and splashing in this pool right here. Works.
Da Vinci, after entering the room, will just kind of shuffle himself off to a corner.
I suppose birds make poor masons.
Oh my god, Discord.
This building, after all. Merely moved in. And it's been terrible disarray.
How long have you been here?
Quite some time. To be quite frank, I'm not entirely sure.
Were there other people living here before you came? Or when you came? Not just here, but on the island.
I believe at one point there were.
Was that before you arrived?
Yes, it was. Did not make them vacate, but I'm gonna wait till Annie comes back.
Discord is not wanting to cooperate with it seems.
It kept booting me earlier too. Let's just hope that we don't have to go back to the long forgotten days of Skype.
No.
God,
Oh,
no.
God. What is my Skype login? It's been so long.
It's just a long list of Australian expletives.
Hi, Candy.
Alright. So here, people.
Where did we leave off just a second ago?
Something Da Vinci asking something.
Oh, Da
Yeah, now I
Vinci
remember.
asking.
Andy, I hate to say this, but you're probably gonna have to mute yourself between talking because you're echoing. She just sort of looks about her own internal sense of time and what she remembers. I did not send them away, but I do remember them leaving upon my arrival. Don't believe I was the cause, though.
Given what we saw in the graveyard, I wouldn't think it.
No. Rather suddenly. Not of their own accord, I would say.
Do you know how it was at that time? Do you think it was a leave or die?
I would say so. They left. I'd say. What is it you all call the passing of seasons?
A full cycle would be a year.
And how many seasons are in a year?
Out of character. Same as real world, or?
Yes, the calendar of this world is determined by a 4-season cycle.
Okay. Well, 4, of course.
Very well. Then it has been many, many years. How many exactly? It's hard to say. 1,000, maybe more?
Da Vinci at this point was kind of rolling his eyes, but then she goes 1,000. It's like, wait, what?
Maybe more.
It was said that you'd tell us about the cards.
Of course I will. One of you need only step forward and sit upon my altar.
Ket is gonna go up.
Do you place yourself upon the altar alongside her?
I do.
Alright then, child. Tell me what it is you have seen.
Is she asking me what I saw?
Tell me your name first.
Keta Drakenfeld.
That, that's a rather beautiful name.
Full name? Keta Dedra and Drakenfeld.
Beautiful and proper. I can appreciate that. It's like that much anymore.
I was given a proper name by my mother. She passed.
She must be a smart woman. As you do that, you can feel eyes piercing into you. They're coming from multiple different directions. What I drew for you are these. Like Da Vinci had seen earlier, there's just seems to be, as she moves her hands, cards materializing into her palms. She flips the first one over, and it shows a depiction of a almost stag-like man with long horns. Lights wreathed in a crown around his head, with very striking features. Card simply known as himself, defined as the greatest of Fae. This is a card that foretells your connection. And from a sense I get from you, I believe it should be no small surprise that card was drawn for you.
Kind of makes a little bit of a face like, yeah, no.
And your second card. And she does the same motion where a card seemingly flips out of the back of the first. It depicts another strange array of lights, though this one has form to it. Top a great plinth. The Singer of the Chalice.
Cactus.
I believe you already know what this is.
I do. I do.
Now, of course, because I can sense great distress in your words. My visions are not to tell you. My visions are not instructions. Background noise. These are not intended as instructions, merely warnings of things you will come to face. Glimpses into the future.
That obviously very much deflates.
Wait a second. Charles, stop playing that saxophone. It's getting really bothersome.
Tiny bird with a saxophone.
It just starts playing Careless Whispers. Get the bass guitar, I prefer that one. That's better.
Dang, I don't know birds
That aside?
well enough to make bird puns.
When Madame Malway obviously says that to Ken, she kind of very much deflates in her posture, and she's hiding her hands, which like a little bit of smoke coming up. Thank you, Madame Malway. Something up with Alright, I can hear other people, so that's good.
Yeah. Oh no, DM.
No.
I'll just give it a minute. He'll be back.
No.
It is not in the best of places right now.
Oof, someone just keep fucking dropping out and cutting you.
I think Keta needs a big green hug.
Needs a good long drink.
Okay, let's open the bottle of wine for Keta.
She's also very much trying to control the other side of herself because she does not need that popping out.
Alright.
There you are.
The internet keeps going, fuck you!
I mean, people keep cutting out for me on Discord.
Discord's been having some crappy times lately.
Yeah.
Alright, where'd you guys lose me?
It was after she said it's premonitions of the future, and then Keta said like she looked very obviously defeated at that prospect, and she's hiding her hands, which are starting to smoke a bit, but she says
Now, bear in mind, child, future's path, you can change it. Fate has a strange way of trying to guide you. Keep that in mind.
I understand.
Did you want to ask anything else of me?
You say himself, is he kind, or is he dangerous?
No. I would say he is probably one of the least dangerous, powerful beings in this world.
Keta says under her breath, then why would they hurt him? Just as she's kind of staring at the carpet.
He's actually going to lean in really close to you and whisper something in your ear.
Oh, I gotta whisper.
Is it possible to make a perception check to overhear that?
Yeah, and none of you all hear this.
Okay.
Am I getting it on Roll20 or Discord?
20.
Alright. Ketta's eyes widen. Oh, it's like, oh.
Alright. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
My internet is just crap in the bed. Alright, then. But did you receive the message?
I got the message.
Just making sure. And after she says that to you, she leans
obviously
back.
Like eyes go wide as saucers.
She just makes a sort of gentle gesture by sort of holding the back of her hand out to you and fingers forward, just like, alright, your turn is done.
I'm gonna go back with my friend.
with that good orky boy.
Orky boy.
All right, who is next?
Kelsey's just sitting closest at the moment. So I guess she'll just sit on the altar. Alrighty, let's see what answers we can get then.
Of course. Though typically I would not have dealings with one such as you.
You don't deal with tieflings?
Not tieflings. Those of your persuasion. What?
Is there something you'd like to tell us, Failsy?
It's not important right now. Jin, so you're worth an explanation. She will again materialize those cards in her hands. Card she materializes, it seems to be the same card, and as she flips and shows it to you, the actual image on the card appears. Card that appears for Failsy is a haired woman of silver. Her body is bare to the world, but matter. It's presented almost as a sense of power rather than a sense of shame. Dark Lady. Interesting. Though ultimately unsurprising that you were the one to see it.
Well, it was very dark, and I guess the person I met was very ladylike. Or at least some of the lady persuasion.
Person, of course. Person. Interesting, though. Saul, the mother. Elway is waiting for you to reply.
Yes.
Yes. And what did you think of her?
I only heard the last word of that.
And what did you think of her?
Surprising. I didn't know that they could talk. Or at least mentally assault me with feelings.
Hmm. Many of them are above speech. But I suppose you could call it still talking. It is certainly an interesting thing to know that you saw that. And I can see that you were left with something. As
Yes,
she
she saw fit to leave me with a bauble.
bubble indeed. As she turns the second card around to reveal a completely blank white card. The Fairy Guide. being without form that will simply heed its call when it is most needed.
Yeah. That's a sense I got from her as well. Still enigmatic as always.
Of course. But yes. Your cards are rather simple. It would seem that the Mother of Deep is waiting for you.
Waiting for me for another chat, or just waiting somewhere for me to actually find her?
Who knows? For you to find out.
I don't suppose you have any hints on how to reach out and contact such beings.
No. But these are portents of the future. Serve to walk their path. They'll find their way towards you.
Oh, fun. Something to look forward to, I guess. Here's a question, if I may be permitted. Any advice on how one deals with such large ladies?
Maybe I could give some advice on that.
She seems uncertain the context for which you are asking her because she's getting multiple things from your intentions.
How does one placate such large ladies? Or at least strike bargains with?
Typically, they'll offer you something, and you say yes.
Oh, that makes things simpler. I don't need to find any extravagant offerings.
It'll depend, I suppose. We will see. That is all for your cards.
Very well. Thank you. Now I must go ponder. Fun. Just go sit in the pond.
Charles just sort of like waddles up to you with his bass guitar and just sits on your lap while playing. Bass guitar, I mean harp.
Felzy gives him some tentative pats.
He appreciates. Meanwhile, Elway looks to the two remaining members of the party. You two would like to go first.
Alright.
Man overflowing with regrets. This will be interesting. She gestures for you to join her on her altar. So what is your name?
Which one?
Whatever name you choose to provide me. Oh no, I will know if it is true or not.
Brimstone.
Eyes just sort of give a knowing glance. Your first card. And she flips around for you. Gray card that depicts a being cloaked from head to toe in the funeral cloth. In their hands, they hold an object, though you're not entirely certain what it's supposed to be. F. A fitting card for a man who's experienced so much of it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
This card foretells of one who shall make dealings with death themselves. Wonder, are you so desperate to have them back? I think Brimstone does not respond to that statement.
Mm-mm. Just kind of stares at her and kind of narrows his eyes a little bit.
Very well. And your second card, and it flips out from the back of the first. Another one of these strange array of lights. This is an interesting one. The Guardian of the Gate. Change. Something you will find unlocked. I'm sure the vision gave you clarity for what that might be.
Yeah.
Very good. You don't exactly seem like the man to question fate. More, let yourself be idly pulled along by it. Am I right?
Don't know if you're really good at reading people or if you're in my fucking head, but I don't like it either way.
Spend enough time foretelling the future of others. You'll learn how they react to it. The moment you gained your lesson, you accepted it without question. Certainly means you're willing to be guided by fate. Yet any time I say fate, you seem scorned. How curious. Well, I'm certain I've pride enough. Some of these visions are simpler than others. Of admittedly simpler futures. Perhaps simply futures I cannot see. Did you have anything you needed to ask of me?
No.
Very well. She gestures for you to step down. And so remains only one. Would you
Yeah.
care to join me?
Morgan will just quietly walk up and sit.
Hmm. Interesting. She sort of scans over you, and her eyes linger over your stomach. Interesting indeed.
What's so interesting about my stomach?
When I speak to you, I speak to more than one.
Ah, that's what you're referring to.
No. The other did not receive a vision, but you did.
Aye.
Allow it to hear.
I'm sorry, what?
The other did not receive a vision, but you did, so I will allow it to hear. Again, the cards materialize in her hands.
That I
This
did.
one she flips over. We're gonna say something before I continued.
She was just saying that I did.
Flips the card over in her hand, and you see a rather familiar sight from your vision. Of a small child with golden hair, with large wings sprouting from her back. The maiden. Card that foretells a being of untold purity. One that, if given the chance, could potentially save this world. Or at least save people in this world. This world has a bad way of destroying purity. She seemingly gives you a bit of a knowing look when she says that.
She just kind of looks uncomfortable.
Yours is one I know of, in truth. I know the place you saw.
I've never been there. It was my first time seeing it.
I know of the place you saw. I know not its name, or what it is called now.
The child, the maiden, called it Failhaven.
Valehaven. What a curious name. It's your second card. It will bring you some comfort. She flips this card around, and you see almost a depiction of a humanoid being with wings outstretched. There is no form to its body, it is merely light. Singer of Healing. A card that foretells will destroy great tragedy. evil may be cured.
Maybe.
Find some solace in the fact that, should you act correctly, save that girl.
I only hope I
Checked.
did the right thing.
Perhaps you did, perhaps you didn't. Really know that you did something, and that is much better than any can say.
If you say so.
If I were to make a recommendation, and she actually turns out to the whole of the group, the vision she has seen is the one that is most present. All of your visions take place a good deal of time from now. Hers is current and soon to occur. And she looks back at you, Morgan. To save her, then you would need to make haste.
Well, yes, but we need to get off of this island away from that damn the Kingfisher.
Ah yes, the Kingfisher. That will be a trifle, really.
What?
I will accompany you. It's been dreadfully boring on this island with no one to interact with. Charles is good company, but stale after a while. And the bird just sort of like looks up looking offended.
Just like, how dare?
How rude!
Oh, God.
How dare you! Need to get you some more songs, Charles. Not going to learn those staying on this stuffy island.
You say you can get us off of here. What about the rest of the people who are on this island with us?
I said I can deal with the Kingfisher. Getting you off this island is up to you.
So what you're saying is you can keep it distracted.
Something like that. Well, shall we make haste?
You're saying that the Kingfisher is but a trifle? A small matter?
Provincia, I want you to make an insight check with advantage.
Ooh, advantage. Okay.
DM.
What did I say about bad rolls?
You got him! You got bad rolls! Even with a roll that pure, though, she's not really trying to hide this. Because it is specifically shown to you. You see her smile, and that smile just curve up her face before it fades away. It's almost like you just saw an illusion, but you're not sure if it was real or not.
DM.
Oh.
Could Kenta possibly roll a check to see if she's heard of a place called Fail?
Place called. You said, I'm assuming Failhaven.
Yes.
You could make a check of that. Actually, you wouldn't really need to make a check of that. Far from the Emerald Plateau.
It's not. Wait, it's not that far. You said.
Yeah, it's one of the next kingdoms over.
Wait. I know that place.
Would you be able to know how to get us there, or at least have a good general idea on that?
It's really close to my home. My home in Greenham.
You would know that Failhaven is about a week's travel from.
You cut off at the distance. What was it?
It was about a week's travel from the Emerald Plateau.
We would go through my home, but it'd be a week's travel to get to Failhaven.
Thing is, though, how far are we from there right now?
How long did it take for Brimstone and Ketcha to get from the?
Like
remember-
2 weeks.
I mean, that was 2 weeks, but you guys were essentially going on an express caravan.
Mm.
It can take a while.
And also, you guys were not.
Me and Brimstone.
At the point where your guys' journey started off, you were not setting out from the Emerald Plateau. You were setting out from the edge of the Dryac Empire.
So it's going to take us even longer to get there.
It's gonna take, well, a lot of time.
To get to the Emerald Plateau from Jezebeth,
Mhm.
which is where you'd have to set out from, take a boat all the way around the continent. Potentially be faster, but it's a lot more dangerous.
Either
Probably take you at least a month.
best thought, probably by boat, but that's going to be at least a month and another week. But that's also going to be more chances to get attacked by whatever the hell's out there.
But still,
And by boat, it would be about a 2-week trip. Boats can travel very quickly in this world.
Boat's 2 weeks, but I don't. Captain just kind of buries her face in Brimstone's like shoulder.
but you say that going to save that girl is what we should do first.
If you would like to save her and follow that thread of fate, done soon.
Seems like the one that's the most pressing.
I did want to say hello to my family again.
Actually gonna have her roll.
How soon
Sorry,
is
but-
soon?
That's what she's
Yeah,
rolling
that's
for
good.
right now.
Ket is gonna step outside.
I believe a month's travel would place you very close to the deadline. You beyond it.
But
That
and that's not telling how long it's going to take us to get back by boat.
it's also not telling us how long it would take us from wherever we make shore.
That was me explaining how long it took to get from the Emerald Plateau to the Horn Port was a month.
Yeah, it's just a matter of. Yeah, that doesn't include how long it will take us to get back via boat.
It was only about a 3-day journey to get out to here.
Yeah,
Boats go
but
really fast in this world.
if a month is close, though.
More my comment is with the state of the boat that we have, there's the risk that we don't make shore specifically in the city we left.
What do you mean? The boat we have is fine, but that's for us.
But we also don't have navigation Oh, okay.
It doesn't have like food and rations and stuff, but it has all the equipment it needs.
Yeah, it's a full sailing ship in a compact form.
But do we have map? Anyway,
Again?
point still stands. We'd be we'd be pressed for time.
Yes. You would be pressed for time no matter what.
Morgan,
Yeah.
how do you feel?
You know about my history. I can't let a little girl be hurt.
Well,
If you'd like, I could also aid you in your travels.
How so?
well,
Rather adept at magic.
I would think so. You brought us here through giving us visions.
Magic of the natural world. She is a druid.
Oh, better.
well, I'm an entertainer. I put a performance wherever the wind takes me. So, I'll go along.
What about you others? Brimstone, do you think you and Keta would be willing to help?
Quite frankly, I don't really care, but it's probably the best way off the island. I think if Keta stays here much longer, she's gonna start freaking the fuck out.
She seems a fragile girl.
So,
Feeling like she's been out much. Didn't have the ability to develop anything other than like thick skin.
Fair enough. Well, if we are going to do this, we should depart as soon as possible.
so we're all going together for another month together? At least?
So it would seem.
I suppose I can come along. I'm sure Fellhaven interesting libraries.
Very well. Let us set out. Yeah, she sort of like claps her hands. Please come on. Many ravens start to flood out of this building.
Oh, great. We'll be a traveling bird party.
They'll be useful.
I could collect up some feathers and make some nice outfits.
Don't pluck my babies.
Who said about
Yes.
plucking them? They're gonna leave feathers behind anyway.
Say that. There are clearly many birds in this building. It's on the ground.
They're fucking magic. Magic doesn't make any fucking sense.
It really doesn't. Why
Hmm.
even think about it?
You did say you knew of where the mechanical beings came from, the spiders and the hounds.
Oh yes, I do. I'm
I
assuming
suppose you.
you don't have to worry about moving your tokens. You guys are having this conversation while leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Failsy leaves and it's just Dravinci and Morrigan, Dravinci will just put a hand on Morrigan's shoulder. Oh, one thing.
Yes.
We're gonna continue traveling along this way for, well, what's looking to be a long time. I'm going to admit that I've not been entirely honest.
No.
No. But I want to say it before we got into another bit of difficulty.
What is it?
My vision took place in elsewhere.
Would Morrigan know what that is?
Make either a history or an arcana check.
Go and
Your
with
magic
Arcana.
comes from your magic comes from a specific place. You don't like manipulate arcane force.
But she does have proficiency in Arcana, so.
Yeah.
It's a 16.
Right? So you think about it, you've heard the term elsewhere. It's a term you've heard like traveling mages use. Like a separate realm that layers on top of the material realm that is essentially just arcane energy. It is where wizards borrow the power in order to craft spells.
Elsewhere. She's kind of is muttering to herself and just looks at Da Vinci, just like, Da Vinci, are you telling me that you went to one of the places that magic comes from?
Yes. And there I commanded powerful magic. There's... If we get into another scuffle, another dangerous situation, I may be forced to pull out something that I haven't shown you yet. I hope it doesn't come to that.
So long as it's not harmful, I don't think it'd be an issue. Well, harmful to us, and our companions.
No. But no, I can't. I know this, that I can't say everything I know.
We all have our secrets, Da Vinci.
Yes. Maybe I'll tell you some more. But first, let's get back to the others.
Yeah.
Keta has been walking this entire time. She's not stopping for anyone. And it's noticeable that the smoke has now gone from her fingertips, like kind of crawling up her arms at this point.
He's actually gonna walk up to you. Keta, are you
Talking to her.
going? Is that?
She's talking to herself in Infernal.
Are you going to be all right?
No, I can't go back there. I won't go back there.
The the lady, she said that you don't have to.
I can't go back to Greenham. Not yet. Not now.
We're not going back to Granum.
To get where we need to go, we need to get close to where I'm from. I'm not letting my father see me now. I'm not going back there, so he was right.
What's so wrong if he's right? What you tell him? What are you trying to prove, Keta?
It's to prove that I can be out here. That I don't need to be locked up. I come running with my tail between my legs back home. It's gonna prove that he was right.
Well, just if we do have to go through there and for a visit, that's not running back with your tail between your legs. Any stories to tell him now? I'd like to meet him.
Like he's gonna
Paul.
find me.
I mean, looks back at the rest of the group. I mean, if you take all them with you, I don't think I'll have much of a choice. I mean, I don't know. I've heard that your Paul and the grumpy guy, they're like kin, right?
Yeah. Basically.
Well, good. Should believe him then. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that smart. I've really had a family. I've always had a crew, but that's not really a family.
I was supposed to set out to Tezero to learn about where I come from. To learn about the family I don't know. To meet the people I should know.
So, do you not want to do this? Do you not want to go with everyone?
If I don't go, then Brimstone's in the shit. And I'm dragging him along with me.
Oh, that's the thing. I'm sure we can disguise you too.
She gives him a look like, do you think you can disguise this?
He looks over you. Could make you look like a coconut or something. Like a coconut person. See, not the brightest bulb in the box.
Totally.
He may not be bright, but he is pure.
what?
He's definitely not the brightest bulb in the crayon ship.
He's the golden crown, but that crown is not very smart. Because it is made of wax.
Again, not the brightest bulb in the crayon ship. Yes, it's intentional.
I need something.
Can disguise you though. He just not let him see you. I think that would work pretty
Kat
well.
is like Kat is looking about like the best way to say that. Like, how do you tell him that he works part time as a guy?
Oh, I know. I can get a really big cloak on my back like a koala. Just think I'm a hunchback.
She pats his chest. Just let me think about it, okay?
I mean, we've got a while.
There's a lot I need to process right now. And having it all thrown at me at once is not.
No, I'm a little overwhelmed myself, and I didn't even have a vision. I
I'm
wonder why I
very
didn't
small
have-
and I have a lot of emotions to process.
It's like you're so small, but you have the same emotions as someone big like me. They're so packed in there.
Yeah.
He just pats you on the head. Just don't explode again.
I will try not to explode. At least in visible sight of most people.
Yeah.
We should start the hike down the mountain. This is gonna take a while.
Alrighty. So you all are able to make your way down the mountain, and it is sure of a trek than it was to get up the mountain, because obviously now you're going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point it actually starts to rain, and you just see Elway just as it starts raining, she just sits down, slide down the path.
Ketel, try it.
You just sort of do you like sit down, or what do you do?
She sits down and then she copies basically what Madame Elway did.
You sit down on this rather slick, smooth surface, give yourself a little bit of a push forward, and just start sliding down the path, picking up speed as you go.
Vales is just going to kick off her sandals, pick them up, and then try and surf.
The Da Vinci was going to do the same thing.
You both begin surfing at the same time. Dexterity checks are
Imagine-
much harder pose to pull off.
Can Da Vinci do performance since he's used to keeping balance?
It'd be more of an acrobatics than a performance.
So dex save,
Well,
Acrobatics check.
acrobatics.
well,
All right.
same for me.
What is Failsy's acrobatics?
Oh no!
So here's
Alright.
what I'm picturing here. Just
Well, I'm gonna explain it.
Yeah, sure.
Let me explain.
okay.
You can pick. You can say what Travince is doing.
Well, I'm just picturing with that Nat 1, the Beach Boys Wipeout song, how it starts with ha 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 Wipeout, and then Da Vinci just zooming along by, keeping perfect balance on his 2 feet as he's just careening down this nice smooth path.
I'm picturing like when you put your hand on glass and try and slide it down, it just makes that sound because there's no because she took her sandals off. It's like her feet gripped the obsidian, so instead of sliding, she just sort of went nope and fell flat on her face.
No, I'm actually gonna roll severity and see what happens. All right. So you don't just fall on your face.
Ooh.
You actually don't fall, period. Down, but realizing very quickly you're picking up a lot more speed than everyone else.
Oh.
Oh,
Did I just fall off the
no.
mountain?
No, you're going around the curves, but it's a situation where you don't know what's going to happen when you get to the end of this.
Slap my fans on the ground to try and stop myself because I think I'm going to go flying off the curve.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. But we're going to see what everyone else is doing before we resolve that.
Okay.
Morgan's just gonna copy the druid lady because, well, if she did that, she must know what she's doing. So on the butt I go.
Sit down. You just sit down. Give yourself a little bit of a push off. You just start sliding down this impossibly smooth, now soaked in water path.
Screaming a little bit because, holy shit, we don't do this on Bogcrest.
Of course not. You see everyone as they're sliding down the path just sees Lee doing mental math.
No.
Oh,
no.
No.
Well,
When Lee does the 4D math, there's a problem.
Well, I mean, Brimstone still hasn't gone yet.
Lee
So,
jumps.
So would Brimstone still be there?
Yeah, you're next to Brimstone.
Okay.
Your Brimstone is next to Lee.
Okay. Okay, if you're thinking about doing something stupid, don't.
Jumps off the mountain.
Brimstone.
Mm.
As he sort of doesn't know why he wants to do this, but he's not a smart boy. As he sort of lays on his stomach.
Oh, no.
Stand on my back.
If you fly off a fucking mountain, you are going to crash face first into the ground.
Yes. Do it.
Are you accepting the risks?
We're asking this of a boy who catapulted himself face first into this mountain already.
Alright, maybe a better appeal. How angry will Keta be if you fuck your face up even more?
I think I'll just lose my other tooth, and she seems to like my voice. So I think she'll like it.
It's your voice no matter what, Lee. Don't worry.
You're not there.
I know. I'm having fun sliding.
It's actually pretty fun.
Brimstone is just trying to figure out a way to get Lee to not do this.
Either stand on my back or I'm going on my own.
I am not taking part in that.
Alright, goodbye. And he just pushes himself off. As you just see him like Superman posing down the mountain.
It'd be really bad if you ran into one of the others that are sliding down on their butts.
I actually want everyone to roll initiative.
Oh no!
Oh
Just everyone going. Tailsy, it is assumed that you get a natural 20 on your initiative.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I
Four.
see 12s.
Not one.
Alright, that's still a 4 though. What's Brimstone doing, by the way?
no!
Is
Brimstone!
he still just walking?
At this point, it probably makes more sense to just slide down.
How does
Not,
it do it?
not taking the risk, just following Madame always.
Alright. So So you just sit down, let the water take you as you start sliding.
Pretty much.
Just lays back. Oh, this is happening.
No. No, I want to be able to see where it's going.
I mean, it doesn't work all the time because as you're sliding down, you spin around at points.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't want to lay down and just be staring up at the sky.
Fair enough. Why do I just imagine Brimstone being in T-pose position, just staring straight up? I don't enjoy this, no matter how fun it may be.
I would imagine, even with that being a Nat 1, Dravince's probably going a little faster than Morrigan.
You guys are actually going about the same speed. You're keeping pace with each other.
And she's screaming.
Just Morgan screaming, Dravince right next to her, going, "Come on, this is a good time."
Just give him the "are you fucking kidding me" look.
So understandably, you're ahead of both of them.
she's got her hands up in the air and she's like,
And seconds later, you see Brimstone sliding past, looking grumpy still.
Cheer up, devil man. Let's go. She's gonna splash him with water as she.
And then a few
Let's go
seconds
faster.
later, still, you just see a green blur.
Wait,
What
no,
was that?
question. Yeah, is it a green blur or a purple blur?
It's a green blur.
Okay.
The purple blur is already ahead of all of you.
Okay.
She passed you guys up instantly.
Oh, well, yeah.
They were the second ones to slide of the party, so she was already ahead.
Mhm.
It was just a wave of bloody like high water just spraying up from Failsy.
It's like you're literally a jet racer, or
Yeah.
what is
Jet
that word?
skier?
There's just a wake of water being kicked up behind you. Madame Elway is behind you, looking not particularly happy about the situation, but not saying anything. Yeah. This is such calming music for what's going on.
Need some like high octane Final Fantasy music.
Something a bit more pumpy, at least.
Oh no, better yet, we need Initial D.
Deja vu! I just been this experience before! Copyrighted, so I can't. Anyways. So yeah, you're racing down at a very fast pace. Everyone else is doing alright. Keta, you see Lego flying past you in Superman position.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Don't get hurt!
To be fair, I tried to convince him not to. It didn't work.
Yeah, both Keta and Brimstone are basically next to each other at this point.
When has
Brimstone
anybody
going
ever
to-
listened to you?
Burn. That's a vicious mockery right there.
It's not in like the advice category. Let's say.
Alright then. You guys are able to get down to the bottom of the mountain. Failsy finally reached the end of the obsidian pathway. You have to like skid on your feet to stop.
Ow.
Getting 2 points of slashing damage on the rocks.
Even slash
Spent
through
the
my
worst of-
scales.
It's not comfortable, but you managed to stop the brunt of it. At the end, and is sent flying into the forest.
No.
Lee's flying into the forest.
Yes.
And you guys just see
Yeah.
ahead of you as you're coming towards the end, just
And he's not within 60 feet of us.
He would be at this point.
Like, if you have a reaction you want to use, you could use it. You
Please,
know Lee
please.
survived a worse fall than this before.
Just extra safety, please. She's not good at setting broken bones.
Well, since at this point it would be only Morrigan who would hear it. I imagine, since you were saying that it goes kind of back and forth, it would be like the bottom is right beneath Morrigan and Da Vinci as Lee gets.
You guys
set
are basically
pocketing.
You guys are basically going around the second to last turn as Lee is suddenly getting shot into the air beside you, which is why you're within 60 feet of him.
So Morrigan, seeing Da Vinci while still surfing, quickly reacts and his in the plate of jewelry that he has on the back of his hand glows. As then suddenly Lee is not zooming into the force, but he is gracefully gliding in through the air like a giant green bird.
He is actually doing a swan dive. You see Lee, instead of quickly rocket into the forest, slowly glide into the forest.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Yeah, I knew that the first time. What the fuck?
I want to do something as Keta gets to the bottom, but I feel it might be a little over dramatic.
Alright, what do you do as you get to the bottom?
It's just like as she gets done sliding, she goes over to the edge where like they had the rope, and then just in a natural instinct of oh fuck, he's gonna get hurt. The smoke. It's the I wanted her form to come out and her to go after him.
Alright. So the rest of you see Keta casually explode as she flies into the air.
Just,
Guys,
you know, when you blow up.
I thought
Yeah.
she wasn't gonna explode anymore.
It's less of the flesh explosion and more Keta turns into a poof of smoke and reforms.
Just girl things.
it's literally
when you
just-
explode.
Just you all see Keta just go.
She's gonna go after him.
Right, you do so. Meanwhile, everyone else reaches the bottom of the cliff and sliding position just sort of comes to a rest at the bottom of the cliff on their butts.
Well, that was good fun.
Yeah, if you say so.
My feet hurt.
I don't know what
This is
you're
fun.
talking about. I'm just fine.
Feet don't hurt any worse than when you had to get used to heat blisters on the bottom of them for the first time.
Yeah, but now there's a cut that's making her sandals red.
But you're fine though. It's not bleeding profusely, and honestly, it closes up in a few seconds due to the fact you guys are adventurers and have natural, for some reason.
Because reasons.
Yeah, you are all now at the bottom of the cliff. No worse for the wear.
Oh, that was quick.
Oh, it just sort of keeps walking. It doesn't stop.
Morgan
that
just mutters to herself.
if Etta finds Lee, it's just you'll hear in thaumaturgy. If I assume the form would be up by the time she finds him. Just I found him!
Yeah. You do find him before your form ends.
Oh, so then
You
it's
just
just
see.
a loud celestial, I found him.
Ow!
No, you be able to speak in common at this point.
Alright, so it's just very loud though.
He's just hanging with his knees hooked over a tree branch.
Ketta's gonna tilt her head to look at him.
Now I'm just picturing he's doing pull-ups and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2.
Turns out
Know
I'm
what
actually
he is.
tough now.
You just see him doing pull-ups. Just make the best of a bad
Actually-
situation.
You know I can fly.
Thought I told you not to. I thought I said don't explode again.
But I was worried about you though.
I'm guessing now he is tuskless.
Did you say?
I said, I'm guessing now he is tuskless.
Oh no, actually he looks fine.
Really? Okay.
He has like a bruise on his chest from where he hit that rock, but he didn't hit it with his face.
Oh, okay. So it was more of a ramp then.
He basically went up a ramp.
Okay, gotcha.
And
I'm fine.
There's this curious smoke form just kind of looking up and down at him.
Just sort of like reaches out and pokes you.
It didn't hurt when I exploded this time.
That's good.
I don't know how I flew though.
Leans slightly to the side to try to look behind you.
I turn around.
You appear to be a cloud. Maybe you can fly like a cloud. Wait, no, come over here for a second.
I'm a cloud with horns.
Wait for a second.
Oh, that's right. I have horns.
It's like making grabby hands at you, like, come here.
she's gonna go and hug him.
See, he wasn't doing it because he wanted to hug you, though he doesn't
Oh, he's
object to
gonna
the hug
throw-
at all.
Is he gonna throw at me?
No, he's like, he was looking at your back as he noticed something.
Oh wait, yeah. So wait, what does he? Does he grab a tail?
No. You feel him touch
does he
something on your
grab?
back? The tiny wings.
What? Are they feathery?
They're like bat wings.
Na 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 na.
Bat wing.
Bat kata.
Oh, we should get you back to everyone else.
At this point that your form suddenly stops working.
Maybe she doesn't really care. She's still Ketta.
Oh, I'm more along the lines mention that because Lee has to suddenly grab you as you start dropping.
I imagine she landed at least.
He's up a tree.
Yeah.
He is not at like ground level.
She can land on a branch.
Not aware that and you were also not aware that this would only last a minute.
She's like, oh my god,
Like
god.
10. Yeah.
Can she try to grab a branch?
Lee's got you.
Alright. Hi.
Alright. Hmm. Yeah, his arms are basically extended out to hold you, where yours like sitting up correctly, pointed towards the ground, but Lee's upside down.
Oh,
Let's wait for the others to get here and help us.
I mean, I could probably drop down. Wait, no, that's probably too
I think Fails will be the first one there to catch up to Keta, since she was
Yeah.
the first to the floor.
I'm just picturing all of us get there, and Da Vinci just goes, "Oh, you two having a rendezvous in a tree?"
No! No!
I want to know why the fuck he just like flew.
Ket and Lee hanging from a tree.
Isn't that the one that goes
Come down, man.
Kissing?
Please don't.
Yes. Why aren't you doing that?
He just
Well,
pulls
there's other
Keta,
things you can also do in a tree.
Keta towards him and kisses her forehead.
Aww.
Mm.
I swear on the gods, I don't believe in intervention. I will kneecap you.
I don't think believing in the gods is a choice.
I am aware they exist.
Can we
It's-
get? Can
it's
you help
very
us
hard
sit down?
Yeah, it's not that he doesn't believe he exists, he just doesn't believe in their power. Even though he
Yeah.
knows it's a thing, it hasn't done anything for him.
Right, Keta, I'm gonna drop you to them.
Oh, but what about you though? Are you
That
gonna be
sounds
okay?
I'll be fine.
Oh, you're not.
She's gonna tilt her head to look at him, so it's like the upside down kind of looking.
What?
Lee.
So
Don't
roll
make
a group
yourself
catch.
Right, bye, Keta. And he drops you.
Oh, but okay.
So
roll to catch.
this would be a group.
Dex
I'll
check.
roll athletics or acrobatics to catch.
I'm going with acrobatics because that's better.
Nah, it's a 19. I've got to take this pin.
5.
19.
14.
Yeah, so you all essentially form like a cheerleader's like basket net and just catch Keta. Don't know how you knew how to do it, but you all just knew how to do it.
The small is in danger.
Okay, now it's, how do we get the big guy down?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you fell on this, you'd break all our arms.
I think I've got an idea.
It's actually just climbing down the tree.
Yeah, that works.
Like he was literally just doing pull-ups before. That's the only reason he was staying in the tree. Well, keep the core strong.
And one, and two, and one, and two.
Right. And down we go, and down we go, and one more. It's like climbing the rope ladders. My feet.
Keta says something in a language probably nobody speaks. But she's speaking in Gnomish, and she's like, oh, fuck. And she's just looking up at him.
Do, 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 do. That word wasn't strong enough.
The fuck?
Down without much issue.
From some just looking at Keta, because he doesn't know that she speaks that, and he doesn't know what she's saying. The fuck?
What?
I don't fucking know.
All right then.
Back to the beach.
Oh, and back to the beach. Back to the beach. By the way, you guys were sliding for about an hour.
Jesus. I mean, yeah, it took us like 12 hours to get up.
Holy cow.
That was an extended period of terror for Morrigan that probably eventually became fun with how long it took.
More so that she just kind of gave in and stopped screaming and was just waiting for it to be over.
It's like, okay, this has lost the feeling of existential terror and more just becoming a chore.
Yeah.
It's brimstone the whole time. Just,
Okay.
It's like 45,
Just have to
50
see.
minutes in reality, but still.
Just have to see Failsy's feet bleeding.
They're in
It's
her
like
sandals
on,
now.
it's on the bottom of her foot, and by this point, it would have scabbed over. You guys.
Just gonna poke Failsy in the butt and give her at least a 3 points back, just as a general overall thing. Just making her feel better.
Giving her a cure wounds that can literally
No.
not.
Healing hand.
Okay, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Just a small poke
Yeah.
on the butt.
She gives you a poke on the butt, and you feel better.
Back to full health.
As they're walking back, Morgan will just kind of like pull Da Vinci to the back with her for a second. Like, still moving forward, but like far enough away to where they can have a moment of privacy.
Easy enough to do.
Yes.
I saw you cast magic. Is that the secret you've been hiding?
He has a very uncomfortable look on his face.
I'm not gonna tell anyone, okay? If they find out on their own, they find out on their own.
Well, to be fair, I did give you a pretty big hint.
That you did.
But yes, that is one of the things I know. It's one of the things that I've been doing some of my best not to show. But something about that vision doesn't quite sit right with me.
Fair enough. I won't tell anyone, though, if you don't want me to. If they find out, they find out, but I'm not gonna be the one they find it out from.
Thank you. Whether it'll come up again or not, here's hoping that it doesn't. But it might.
I'm sure Ketsa appreciated you doing it, even though she doesn't know you did. And certainly Lee would, even though he probably doesn't know. Oh god, if I did that, you wouldn't be able to hear me screaming from all the way in the Pale Crest Isles. I did not enjoy that.
Oh, but it was so much fun.
it would also be a lot harder for Morgan to slide down on her chest.
That would have been a very uncomfortable end point.
Yeah.
Essentially, Kat is the only one of the girls that can do that comfortably. She had
Maybe.
nothing. She
I-
had nothing.
Admittedly, one of the reasons why I wanted to explore the mountains is because I knew that no matter what, I had that as a backup. If something went wrong.
Whatever that was, maybe. Who knows, maybe I'd be gifted the knowledge of that. I can only do what I'm gifted the know-how on. But my situation's weird and we need to catch up to the others.
Yes. But just one more thing.
Well,
There's a reason why I keep so much such a thing a secret. But I can't really tell you just yet.
fair enough.
If you want to know, you'll have to hire me. And then he just starts sprinting off to the others.
You guys really aren't that far behind.
Keta's talking about birds.
Like, that honestly confused Morrigan because as far as she knows, the only thing Dravinci can be hired for is dancer.
You're not wrong.
That's as far as she knows what he can be hired for.
Nah, Dravinci's branching out.
Oh, there's also a bird that used to come and visit my window a lot. Very nice raven. She had this baby.
Tell me more.
Oh, I don't know what happened to her. She kind of left after a few winters.
Aww. Wait, Charles is just sitting on your head.
yeah, I like to think that she's talking at Madame Elway, but Charles is the one responding.
Elway doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, yes, she's talking at Elway, but Charles is the one responding.
If we were to visit my home in the Emerald Plateau, I could show you some of the pictures I have with birds.
Pictures?
Pictures? I don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nods.
And not Raven, but I keep picturing him as a cockatoo.
It kind of is.
before-
It's doing that thing.
That's also because cockatoos are fucking massive assholes. Bite you for no reason.
And ravens can be.
That's true.
One of my, I was actually drawing before we got shipwrecked here. The last thing I was working on was, she kind of stops and she's like, oh, and her face turns a bit pink.
Tell me more.
I drew a picture of Brimstone, but, I said he smelled like poop.
Oh. You reiterate what you said one more time? Because I actually didn't hear you because you're very quiet.
She, drawing away from the thing that she was actually drawing before they got shipwrecked was, I drew a picture of Brimstone, but I said he smelled like poop.
Oh. It turns to brimstone on your head, just black poop.
Oh, God.
Miss Elway,
Yes.
I suppose you've seen a workshop of on this island while you've been here.
Some point in the past, but probably not anymore.
I suppose it would be a ruin if these spiders and that were left over from something.
Oh no, you'd asked me about that earlier, hadn't you? I didn't answer
Yes.
you.
Yes,
Sorry.
infuriating.
They come from the structure supported by the volcano.
So, would that be climbing up the mountain even further, or can we get there from the sea?
That would require going all the way up the mountain. You all have just completely left.
Well, that's what I was trying to ask before we left, and then we went, oh no, we're going down the mountain now.
It started raining.
Yeah, going up that in the rain.
Yeah.
No.
I just mean, I was trying to ask that, and then it just went straight to, oh, you're on the mountain now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because what I was trying to angle for was, do we need to leave the island right now, or is there still some time?
You're from the sense of what was talked about earlier, it's the more time you have to get to this place, the better.
Yeah, there is a sense of urgency on this.
Yeah. And also, she will explain now just come from, but there's no real getting into that place. It would seem you have to be one to enter.
I mean, we've broken enough big mechanical things to maybe disguise it.
Maybe.
But if it's all the way up that mountain again, looks like we missed the opportunity.
Perhaps later, when you are not filled with such pressing matters, you can bring yourself back here and try to figure out that mystery.
Bowser just adds it to her growing list of goals.
Elsie in the ever-growing list of quests.
Hmm.
It's like she's a Skyrim character.
Le-
Slots it
When-
between, I don't know, learning to croquet and usurping gods.
Learning
we
to
get close-
croquet and swallowing a whole pig.
when we get closer back towards the beach, Keta's gonna she's gonna look up at Lee and go, I have an odd question for you.
All right.
Lee, could you possibly teach me some Orcish?
Were you asking Lee a question?
Yeah, Lee. Sorry, the microphone is really awkward on these headphones.
Fair
I'm
enough.
trying
It's... So, what did you ask?
Do you want me to re-ask the question?
Please, because you're kind of
Yeah.
hard to hear.
Hold on, let me check. I'm turning myself up all the way. Alright. Lee, could you possibly teach me some Orcish?
I guess I could.
Well, I was
I'm not
thinking,
particularly fluent in the language myself.
that since, well, everyone in the party knows Infernal, and, like, we could talk to each other in it, well, like, I could learn Orc, and I could talk with you in it.
Oh. Oh wait, Lee
Alright.
can't speak Infernal.
No, you can't. But she wants to learn Orcish to speak with him.
I mean, I guess, to be honest, I really only speak Common that well. It might seem odd, but Orcish really isn't my first language.
Well, that's okay. Gnomish isn't my first language. Or Giant.
Alright. Well, I'll do my best. If Gond is someone we can meet up with, he'd probably be able to teach better, but we'll see.
Keta is happy because her plan is going through.
Alrighty then. Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
Don't think we have much else to do. Besides go back to the beach and tell the quartermaster, hey, we found somebody.
Alright then.
Oh
I
god,
mean-
who's gonna talk with Gaston?
That is the question you find yourself asking, because You are quickly approaching the beach after a few more hours of walking.
Can we? Sorry to interrupt,
Let's
but
take a break.
given that it's 10:30,
Oh,
Yeah, it's about the losing thing.
this episode dragged on for longer than I thought it would. I'm sorry about
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. Shut
no
up.
worries. I think
It's some-
this can make for good stopping time, if
Yeah.
that's okay with you.
A stop as you all are existentially dreading talking to Gaston.
Yes.
Some of us.
I mean, Failsy isn't.
Yeah. The only two that don't really like him are Brimstone and Keta.
So, who's going to talk to Gaston? Find out next week.
Not Brimstone.
Say goodbye.
Definitely
Hit the
not
stream.
Gaston.
Get out of here.
Well, we have to do procedure properly.
Chill.
Alright, give me a second. I wasn't expecting this to end this early.
Yeah,
I wasn't
usually
either,
we
but I
don't.
wasn't really paying attention to the time.
Yeah, so was I. I was like, wow, that took so long.
Alright, so,
Or
Hello,
no,
everyone.
it didn't feel long enough.
hello everyone. It is I, Andy, your reigning Shield Queen. And I come to you with good news, good tidings, my friends. This Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, back again are we for World of Iona at twitch.tv American Citizen, where I, myself, play Desire, the Blood Hunter. And we have two less. Well, we'll have two less than what we started with, as we continue our adventure ever onwards towards Alto City, and then possibly then across the sea towards Desire's ancestral home. And then hopefully soon enough you will see us with two new allies. But that is me.
Woo! Armor, do you have anything?
I got all this stuff for Rory if Armor doesn't want to do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go right ahead, Myth.
I'll do it when it's my turn.
It's your turn.
Okay.
Oh, unless Failsy wants to go first.
I don't really have anything to shill.
Okay. So two orders of business. So first, this Sunday, not Sunday, Saturday, 6 p.m. EST. Curse of Strahd again. Holy shit! 2 games in a row that aren't like a month apart. I know, it's crazy. Somehow the scheduling gods made it work. After that, I don't fucking know. Second, Mondays at 2 p.m. EST is Shadows and Starlight, where I play Helgrim. And I'm real tired of everybody's shit, and it is only the first section. Well, second. But, in either case, both can be found there, at the Lady Ori underscores after first, second word, where Fey fuckery happens.
So much fey fuckery,
So much Fey fuckery.
like oranges.
And fake witch.
Oh,
Look.
goodness.
Look, she killed Juicy Maze. This is a crime that no. Thrash killed him.
Yes. Clarify who's to blame.
This is a crime that cannot be forgiven.
Well, if that's everybody else, then I guess that's just me now. Still don't know what's going on with Forest, so that'll just happen as it happens, although it's supposed to be on Saturdays, so check this channel on Saturdays around 9 p.m. EST. And then we will be back here, same time, same channel, same day of the week, next week. And we might actually get off the island next week. Who knows?
Chances are high, considering next week's episode is called Setting Sail.
Uh-huh.
Keta's on her goal of learning or irrepressible.
Aww. But yeah.
And for other
Those-
reasons.
Felzy is pouring in the direction of the volcano at lost knowledge.
Aww.
Just like,
Yes.
I want it.
Yes. Knowledge.
We
That's what
we
it is.
still have a spider. We still have a spider that we have completely dismantled, and we can take the parts with us.
Felzy definitely doesn't want to make a mechanical snake person army. Not at all.
When you encounter Mechanical Snake.
Dies. Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying you haven't encountered it.
Yeah, Felzy would somehow find a way.
I mean, if not, then if Felzy could get her hands on that workshop, she just make a mechanical army of snake people.
Yeah, and fucking Brimstone.
New designs.
I just can't wait for Brimstone to find out about Dravinci being able to cast magic, and he's just like,
him just looking at Trevencha looking so betrayed, just like, I thought we had something.
But anyway. I think this is where we should all say our goodbyes for the night.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Why are you still
Bye.
here? Go home.
Go home. Go bed.
Go do something.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.